Deleting something from your phone doesn't mean it's gone. Think about it. Every picture, message, and note you've ever erased, law enforcement has machines that can bring it all back. Even the things you swore you deleted forever. But here's the part no one talks about. If they can do it, who else can? These devices don't just pull files from your phone. They can reconstruct fragments of lost data, turning your private life into an open book. And while the official story is that this is only for criminal investigations, history shows us that once governments have a tool, it rarely stays limited to its original purpose. Remember the Patriot Act? Surveillance that was meant for terrorists got turned on ordinary citizens. Is this about catching criminals, or about creating a system where no one's digital life is ever truly private? Because if your phone can betray you after you hit delete, then who's really in control? You or the machine? If nothing you erase is ever truly gone, do we really own our phones, or do they own us?
Russia was so paranoid that the United States was going to launch a preemptive nuclear attack against it during the Cold War, that it created a dead hand system. What is that? They created a system whereby ground sensors would be able to determine nuclear bombs hitting the Russian soil. And if they weren't hearing from the nuclear command and control, so the idea being that the nuclear command and control had been taken out in this preemptive nuclear strike, the dead hand system would launch all of Russia's remaining nuclear weapons, which were like 30,000 at the time, would launch all of them without even needing a hand to push the button, hence the name the dead hand. It set up a system to launch no matter what, even if we're all dead. It's like, don't you dare launch at us, or even our own dead hand will get you.
If China owns $800 billion of U.S. debt, which they do, then of course the United States, as the borrower, has to pay interest, which means that you and I and everybody else gets to pay taxes every year that go to Washington, where they don't fund our roads or schools or hospitals. It's money that the United States government collects and sends to Beijing to pay interest on the debt. And the Chinese use to develop the Red Army. Do you understand? All of this has to happen beneath the surface. Because if Americans understood what I just said, they would realize that beneath all the reality is the opposite. That's the reality of the economic of capitalism.
If you knew who was really behind Bitcoin, you would run as fast as you fucking could to sell it. I know. 100%. If you knew who owned Bitcoin or who started Bitcoin, and you had Bitcoin, you couldn't sleep at night. I know. 100%. And when the real founder of Bitcoin comes out, it is my humble opinion, and there's nothing humble about me, Bitcoin will go to fucking zero.
One day.
And a microsecond, whoop, like that.